Has anybody here read Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis? Alright. So, wow. Record. So this is about, incidentally, turning into an animal. I'm not an animal. For those of you who get that reference. Alright, let's go. This is 2 branches of science in 1 cockroach. I'm a person of action. I'm also a huge nerd. This is a terrible, terrible combination. A cataclysmic whirlwind, I do not recommend it, that results in a game I've been playing ever since I was a kid. Or a superhero whose favorite power was to negate 1 rule of science a day. You know, Karl Popper once said that what makes science science is its falsifiability, but the game is more fun than it sounds, trust me. Imagine 24 hours without gravity, or being resistant to extreme heat, or pain, or emotion, or that strange, overwhelming jealousy that overcomes me of the steering wheel of her car. Because she holds it like she's known it forever. Her eyes are turned on the road, and she sings along to Billie Holiday, and her eyes are turned on the road, and I can't shake the memory of slouching, bored in chemistry class, being told about how all atoms tend toward perfect octet. She drives so damn fast, but I've never felt so stable, like I'd be a Midas if I asked for anything of the world other than her quiet hum promise of I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places. Well, I'm a nerd. I love my rules. I tell her that the reason I took up chemistry was because I wanted to understand the rules of the world. I also warn her how terrible I am at chemistry. But she laughs. You know, she says, if you really wanted to learn the rules of the world, you should have taken up physics. And I think it over. She makes sense. Mass energy laws, inertia, gravity, the laws of thermodynamics. Then again, I don't know what to believe, because if she followed the rules of the world, she would understand that girls like her did not sit down to Persian food and beers with nerds like me. Girls like her did not smile like that at nerds like me, did not say nice things to their popular friends about me, didn't tell nerds like me, I miss you, and meant it. She's a wrecking ball to the very foundations of physics and chemistry and life that I've been spending hours a day trying to master, but she knows a thing or two about physics, you see. Law of conversion of mass. She knows that matter can neither be created nor destroyed, and I can pinpoint the exact moment a day when I know I'm gone. I'm gone. This is why I'm far from surprised when I wake the following morning, drowning in the unforgiving white of bed sheet, room spinning around its colgate walls. This house feels 1,000 times bigger, and the transformation is complete. I woke up as a cockroach. But as you all know, stranger things have happened. Law of inertia. In order for an object to change, force must act upon it. I wish sometimes that you came with a star warning label, because baby, I never wanted to go Han Solo, but ever since you came along, all the forces have awakened. See what I mean? She's got me making the worst puns of my entire career. My mother won't stop crying. I can't blame her when all she's ever wanted was to see me married. My father has a TV on all day. My sister brings me a tray of breakfast every morning at 7:30 a.m. and asks me if I want to pray with her, but she can't look me in the eyes for longer than 10 seconds, I've counted. Law of gravity explains the attractive force between 2 pairs of masses. Darling, tell me why I feel like a kid with a cape around her neck when I'm around you. In all the best ways. Heaven knows you know more than me, so help me navigate this paradox. Why you are my favorite rule of science to break a day every day. How I give up every superpower just to have you around me, to be good enough to want you to stay. I was nervous for the next time we met. After all, I was a cockroach, and you remain the most wonderful human being in existence. But then again, the rule of conservation of mass energy happened. Total energy in a closed or isolated system is constant, no matter what happens, no matter what happens, no matter what happens. And she looks at me. She surveys my imperfections, she maps them out, and she accepts them. She might possibly even like them. When she does, everything is right with the world again. I can navigate my home and wake clutching at the anchor of my bed sheets, a terrible, wonderful human being, and I realized that it was all possible because I'd done the exact same thing with her. So fuck Karl Popper and his rule of falsifiability. If semester, I realized that I underestimated just how terrible I was at chemistry. Nothing in the realm makes sense to me. But it's perfectly all right. But she does. She's the first thing that makes perfect sense to me in a very long time. Time itself stops to watch when she's around. Physics only works when her arms pull into me. I can feel every one of my scattered molecules rushing home, completing the puzzle the rest of the world is scrambled into. A perfect octet, the valent bond, magnetism, the electrostatic field. I could run 200 laps around because my cape is on and she never makes me take it off. Let me tell you about the time she broke the law of conservation of mass, the times I find myself completely gone. Because it was love when I opened the trunk of her car. And she looked back at me. And she saw me. More human than I'd ever known I was.